Family, grand rising, grand rising. I'm excited about the day. You see this beautiful goddess I
Yes,
got with me in the building.
I say, glad to be here always.
Family, today it's we're gonna talk about spiritual dreams. We're we're gonna keep this one not fully not fully revealed because there's gonna be at least one more part to this
Okay.
because there's some unpacking.
Ooh-wee.
There's some unpacking. So, ooh, I got the chills. I love this. All right.
I say,
All right. So, family, I'm gonna read this poem, and my sister Shariffa. I'm all right. I got my seatbelt on. I'm just holding the map today. Okay.
I say.
I found a bucket filled with hopes and dreams and material things. I found a bucket. I found a string tied to big beautiful things and all things unseen. I found a string. I found a tie loosened at the knot and cut on one side. I found a tie. I found a bucket. I found a string. I found a tie. Then I found why all these things were lies. The bucket you kept on your head instead of getting water to drink. The string you kept breaking and no tie you seek. The tie you kept cutting so now it no longer applies. And you're standing where you are looking, trying to figure out why. You forgot that your bucket is tied to a string. Let me say that again in case you didn't really understand me. I said, you forgot your bucket is tied to a string, and your higher self, spirit, keeps wanting to know, why are you doing this to me?
Mm, I say. I love that. That is just it's one of those pieces that I say really takes us into a space of mystery and I almost want to say release because whenever spirit is asking us for something, it is for our own benefit. When it's asking us to look at anything, it's for our own benefit. It's for our own love of the game because we chose to come here and participate in this huge game. And I think of it as a game because you tend to have challenges, all kind of obstacles, what we think of as winners and losers. And you tend to be here to learn something. The journey is not a journey of haphazardness. I don't think anything in this plane of existence is. I think that the more we understand um, that everything has some purpose, the more we can embrace this beautiful dream that you have. Or that, and I don't, and you say dream, spirit dreams, but this was a piece that you wrote, right?
Hmm.
Now, I want to share this before we begin to play with this beautiful piece of poetry you wrote, um, because I have I am a dreamer. I am one who recognizes that when we read about in any of the biblical scriptures, when we read about Joseph, I am so honored because that's how my spirit team, my ancestors tend to come through to me and work with me is through my dreams. And just a few days ago, um, they dropped something in my dream world right between what I call a twilight. Because what they'll do is wake me up. I'm coming back. They'll wake me up, and then I'll like go back into like a dream state. So I'm in what I call a twilight. And during that twilight, they'll start interpreting things that were going on in the deeper part of the dream that I would have forgotten if I woke all the way up. It is so deep to me and it's so beautiful. And usually when I'm experiencing it, I don't want to go. To me, it's part of the reason why I came. It's like, wow, and I have come to love that aspect of my spirit walk, and I call my team the dream team because they come to me in my dreams and it feels so good, so I call them the dream team, my dream team. Anyway, they had a message for my sister. They had a message for you, goddess, and they wanted me to relate it to you. This is so amazing because they had me go over it a few times.
Okay, I say.
They had to go, and that's the thing about it is like I'll be asleep, and that's why I say this. I'm at a good age in my life to be past my any of my children being school age anymore, and at a good age where I feel like I want to be somewhat of a hermit. I love going out and socializing, but the things I go through in my home, in my Vatican, if you will, um, it would scare people because in my sleep I will just start talking and I'm aware that spirit wanted me to say something out loud. And if somebody was in the bed next to me, they'd be like, "Whoa, what the hell is going? I thought you were asleep." And they would be distracting me. Okay, and I would be lost, and we'd all be lost in the song. So I get to like just do all this weird stuff, and it'd be all right, you know. And I
I
don't
say.
have, no judge, no jury, no paddy wagon yet. Not that I'm a total on myself, they might be looking into it, but
Not looking into it. Okay.
so I don't even know. I was going. I can't even remember everything that they were taking me through. All I know is they took me. They brought me to you, and they said we want you to give Shalina this message, and we want you to make sure that you tell her this way. And I had to kind of start rolling a little bit, and this is what Spirit said. Spirit said, "There's right, there's left," and they had me look right and left. There's up and there's down, and Shalina, then there's you. And when they said it, it was with such a compassion. And I was like, wow. There's right, there's left, there's up, there's down, and Shalina, then there's you.
Mm,
So I don't know what all the depth is to that one.
mm.
But I said, wow, okay.
Okay. Okay. That
And
actually it that actually explains it explains a little bit. That actually this spirit always knows what it's doing. That's funny because that actually explains some of the dreams that I was having. Some of the it seemed to me like, why is this happening? But it didn't seem to be an issue.
mm,
It was, I'll have, like there's the entire length of my life, as long as I can remember, I've been having a specific kind of message, different scenarios, different kind of dreams.
Mhm.
And so one in particular is there's like a pool and there's seats coming up, and there's like an open culvert or something in the water and everything, because it's natural land. It's like out in the country,
Mm.
and for some reason the water is rising. There's some things going on, and I'm noticing from the top these things going on, and I'm coming down and I'm trying, to get these people. As I'm coming down, I'm telling them the water's changing, the land is changing. You need to move. The land is changing, the water's changing. And when I get down, there's some trees here and there's some trees here, and I'm walking. There's grass, but there's water all around, and I'm walking.
Mm.
And there's always somebody with me, at least one person, no more than like a group. They're with
Mm.
me, and I'm like, bro, well, why are you with me?
Mm.
Go go that way. That's dry land over there. Go that way. And they're like,
Mm.
no, we're gonna follow you.
Mm.
And I'm like, but I'm trying to get more people to save. And they're like, but we're following you because obviously you're saving people.
Mm.
So it's like I can't argue if that's what I'm doing, because I'm getting people and I'm showing them I'm getting them, and I'm like, you need to go up that way, and I'm they want to come with me, and I'm go this way. Go
Mm.
go this way so I can help these people over here. And they're like, no, we're going to be where you at, because
Wow.
apparently wherever you at there's no water. You're not sinking. You're always walking on land. How are
Wow.
you getting all these people?
Wow.
But they're like, the tree here is on land, and it's got a little bit of grass, but it's like moss. And the tree here is on like a, oh.
I say.
I just realized I said there was a tree here and there was a tree here.
Okay. Okay.
And they're rooted, and I'm standing in between these trees on the only land that isn't wet,
Okay.
leading these people.
Okay.
Oh shit, sis.
There's right, there's left, there's up, there's down, and then there's you. And the reality for me, that as you talk about these trees being to the right and to the left, is that you are the most secure of the trees. And that is why the people want to stay with you. The reality is that in many cases, trees in our dreams represent other beings, because we are actually those who represent what actually keeps Mama G in alignment. A lot of times when I'm listening to geophysicists or geologists as they are observing what's going on in the galaxies and trying to understand a lot of the that which is not understandable for them, I realize that everything that's happening is happening because of us, because of me, right? And the reality is that you are the standard tree. Like, you are what they say trees bring to Mother Earth in terms of stabilizing everything and being that which everything relies on for oxygen, for air. We, as the not only those who are manifesting in the skin we're in, but as those spiritual beings who we know are have been sent here on purpose with the energy to realign the planet. You and I, and those of us who have that particular calling, hallelujah, are the trees that people need. We are that which brings that the redeemed, hallelujah. And so while we may see salvation in other trees, most of the time those who are meant for us, and they're not going to anybody else. They see who us as what they need, and so we just have to allow them to feed on us because we're what they need, and that is what I get from. And then the other thing that was coming to my mind as you were talking about your dream, and I think about the message that they were sending to me, is a couple of times I have been, because I've really been all over the place since I've been studying in our higher school through the Vicki Diller Mystery School. She offers a higher school that we've been in, and I've been noticing these different elevations of my thinking. But one of the things that I've been delving into, just as I look for nerdy stuff to watch throughout the day, is dimensions. And so one of the things that I thought about just now as you were talking about your dream, and as I think about the message that my dream team wanted me to give to you, is that as I was watching these documentaries about dimensions, knowing that I've been moved into a different dimension. I can't even tell you what dimension I live in. All I know is I'm not in the one I was in.
All Ashe. In fact, to that. Okay.
But when they were talking about one the first dimension, the second dimension, the third dimension, I can't claim that I even catch on after they get to the fourth and fifth and start going further. I did kind of get that, like the first dimension is sort of like the Pac-Man games where you kind of just get like a line and you only going right or left, right? It's a flat plane. And then the second dimension, you start to get more mass to it, if you will. So you get the up and the down. But so what was coming to me is that you have left a number of dimensions, is basically what I feel is being said. And almost as though you are a dimension of yourself, because it was like there's right, there's left, there's up, there's down, and then there's you. It's like you are moving you are a whole dimension, basically.
I will take that with the Ashe, Ashe.
That is deep. That is so deep to me because we are so much more than what we
Oh,
know. And I do
you still there,
believe
sis?
that as the world, as
Hold on.
everything continues to flow, we are going to begin to all of what we are, more of that will begin to show. It's gonna because I know that every story ever told has been from the records, and even those stories that we think of as myths really are from the records of a historical event. Even that which they try to name dinosaurs, which I don't think that was the name of those great beasts of the day. Hallelujah. I actually think that they belonged in a greater, I want to say, play of my ancestrals, of my Sybil sisters, my mothers, who basically were ruling a certain day. I believe that they were a part of that. And so when we talk about leviathans and pythons and these things that the Caucasian persuasion discovers and gives different names to, because they don't have to understand anything. A lot of times, even when I'm watching documentaries, they'll tell you, we don't know what this is, but then they'll proceed to act like they know and start explaining. And I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just tell me you didn't know?
Right. Right.
So my thing is, I thank Source that I have broken away, and I think all my life that's why I've been a rebel, is that I hear more deeply than I think I'm supposed to, and I see more deeply than I think that they would like me to. And so the reality for me is that I can watch or listen to something and take the truth from it, and then throw out all the deceptions that they're trying to now hide or cover up the truth with. So they'll start out, I'll just give an example. Lately, not even lately, I would say about a month ago, my nerdy self was wanting to watch documentaries about octopus. Because octopus, even though I've always thought of them as strange creatures, I found out that they are some of the most ancient creatures in the sea. And as they would start out the documentary, they would admit that they don't really understand the octopus, because the octopus is able to do things that has blown them away. For example, an octopus can take on the physical appearance of almost anything in the deep sea. It blows them away how this, and not just they will actually turn into their skin, crustacean will actually turn into that rock, like just blowing these people away in terms of the ability of the octopus. But some of the things they would be saying, I knew that they're just making it up as they go, because they'd be like, and the octopus is doing this in order to protect herself. And I'm thinking to myself, how you know what the hell she trying to do? You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that came to me, because I am a goddess, and I don't need you to tell me, I can intuit what the octopus is doing. But one of the things that came to me, almost as though the octopus through the damn TV screen was speaking to me, was that it's not that the octopus is transforming herself into those things to necessarily protect herself, but that the octopus represents the most ancient type of love at the bottom of the sea, that she can transmute herself into anything that she touches, that she will then be that, because it is the greatest degree of empathy. When you can be that which you see, when you can touch that and become it, it is the greatest degree of empathy, Hadrasita, and that she is still part of the love under the deep sea that is speaking to the Ethernet, or the intensity of those things which I desire to be, and basically wants me to begin to emanate with her. And these are the type of things that I'll get watching a documentary. Like, my mind will begin to shut out the lies that this damn person that don't know what the hell they're talking about is speaking. And I will go into a whole nother realm as though I'm intuitively communicating with that octopus.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
And so
Because you can
now,
do
from
that.
the standpoint of me realizing that the most ancient things, or the most ancient entities of Earth right now are being called forth. The most ancient entities of Earth are being called forth. So not only is the octopus doing her work deep, 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 deep in the darkness of the sea, but those of us who are ancient beings on the planet are doing our work. We've got an ancient nation who is under attack that is doing their work. Everything ancient is being called forth right now to restore that which must be, right, and to rid itself of enmity or the enemies. So that, to me, is, and I don't even know how I went there, goddess, but somewhere from the dimensions, I lost myself in the deep, deep sea with the octopus in me. But I tell you, the reality for me is that we are so much more than we ever thought we could be. And that's what I see when I listen to you and when I think about what my dream team brought to me. Now, back to this deep piece that you wrote, which to me is just that, to me, it's just as deep as the sea because it takes the simplicity and it says that don't let the simplicity of what you see make you miss the deepness that in the profoundness of spirit and what spirit wants us to be. That's why spirit at the end of your piece is like, why are you doing this to me? Because me is thee. Like, there's no difference between you and me, is what spirit is trying to get us to see. And to me, that's the greatest elevation, I guess, that has happened to me since I've been a part of our mystery school and a part of this journey, is that I can now, I feel a sense of my continuity from coming from my into my mother's womb, into this reality, and going into whatever will be. Like, I sense that continuity. I kind of move more in that continuity than I used to. I used to be more grounded in the bucket or in the stream, so that I missed the greatness of what my stream was tied to.
Mm. Mm.
You can become so materially bound. I want to grab something right now. Like, you can become so materially bound to the material thing that you miss what it's tied to. What, you know how Vicky says everything that is came from the unseen? And that when we can really begin to recognize that we can really bring about more greatness into the scene. So that's basically what your piece is always trying to bring whenever I hear it, because they seem so simplistic. A string, a bucket, and a tie seems so simplistic, so
Ordinary.
unimportant, so
Yes.
so easy to walk by and underestimate. But when you, especially the string, because when you talk about that string, which is, which would appear to be the less meaningless, just looking at a piece of string, anybody can walk by that and not see how deeply profound the string is, because not only is the string tied to the unseen greatness, but then as you get further down in your piece, you tell us that the string is also tied to the bucket. And the bucket has already got great things in it, but they got it on their head. So this string,
Come on. Mm.
this string is the real thing. It's like the deepest and yet the least meaningless. It seems to hold the least meaning and has the deepest meaning, right? And that's to me why it's so deep, so deep for me, and it's us. It is us on every single level. I always say it and I'll say it again. It does not, and okay. And I'm gonna give the Persians, I'm gonna give Iran its kudos right now, because I do see them hinting towards recognizing who the great ones are, who the ancient ones are, giving honor in their little Lego trolls to they even made one little Lego troll called "I Was Born in Babylon." One of our sisters just shared it in the mystery school. But they're giving it up as they have to fight this war with the devil, because that's what they fighting the war with the devil. And the devil is always mad at the righteous. Always. You ain't gotta have no reason. You just fucking hate us because you can't be us. That's all that is. You can't be us, so you hate us. Okay. So you on your way, running off a damn cliff, because that's where you on your way to, off the cliff. That's where the powerful ones chase the pigs. And it's amazing that a lot of they Lego, they changed the damn president into a pig, and a lot of their Legos. And I'm just saying, the Christ energy, when you read the Bible, it says that he chased the devil energy into the pigs and chased the pigs off the cliff. That's what I read. You know what I'm saying? And it looks to me like the pigs is running off the cliff. But I want to give honor to the Persians because I do know that they are the most ancient nation in this world system, and that they have real stories rather than the lies of his stories, the white man's stories, as he told his story and lied about who he is and about who we are. They are kind of hinting at some of the real stories, right, in their Lego trolling, as they basically have decided to take a stand, what I feel is a righteous stand of who they are and their righteous sovereignty. I mean, the reality is they are a sovereign nation. I'm not mad at them. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
But back to my string ideology, and I wanted to give them their kudos because they recognize the power of the string. But in most cases, no matter how deep I think people are, because I do have certain ones that I say, wow, they seem to have deep insight on the level of being what you call a metaphysicist, or somebody who appears to be studying astrology or the stars or whatever. Most of the time, if they're not in the skin I'm in, they act like this new. Everybody know there's a paradigm shift happening. Everybody knows that this world is on its way out. But no matter who I'm watching, what I tune into, it seems that this blind spot that white supremacy created, because they truly blind, and they like to play blind anyway. But I think them playing blind has made them blind. Because one of the things I used to hate hearing, and still hate it to this day, some folks still like to say it, I don't see no color, I'm colorblind. I be saying to myself, and you lying, okay? You lying with your blind ass. Because if you was colorblind, the world would not be in the condition that it was in. But the reality is, that's just a new lie to come up with so that you don't have to be responsible for the fact that you hate those of us who have the most color, because you recognize that, that, like I said to you on one of our other podcasts, the darker the berry is on the vine, the greater its capacity to hone the divine, right? So They know this. They've always known this. They actually, I believe, know a lot more about who we are on a molecular level than they have chosen to reveal. Even in terms of unidentified objects and the reverse engineering that I believe they've done over the years, they know a lot more about us because that's all about us because we're the most ancient thing on the damn planet. And I believe that our people knew, knowing that there's life cycles every 6,000 years, that the devil would have a time to have a cycle and chose to hide our stuff. Whether we took it into the air or to the deep blue seas, we said we're not going to let this damn devil have access to these. So the string and the bucket, hallelujah, rasita, we have hid the greatness, hallelujah, ishadrasi, in what you gonna look at as simplicity.
Mm. Come on.
So even while everybody on the planet knows that there's a shift, none of them want to look at me. Everybody looking past me. You see? And they want love and light, and we just, there's a shift taking place, and it's love and light. Oh, like you don't see this big fight though. Like you don't see this big fight. Like y'all ain't been raised in hell every damn night. Like you don't think that you gonna have to deal with your plight. Okay.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
And so you can't afford to look at me. Because if you did look at me, you would have to take on responsibility. But I'm going to require it of you anyway. Because it's our day.
Mm.
So yeah, behind this string that looks so simple and plain is the greatness of everything that brought everything that is into existence. We are those strings. Yes, we are. And so that is why I love picking apart not only your dream, because I want to go back to your dream, but this particular great piece that you wrote, the bucket and the string and the tie. And the tie, I always say to me, that tie is really just recognizing that the identity that they have given us does not fit us. It is not, it is so far fetched from who we originally are and originally were. And we can tap into clues about who we really are and were by looking at what they stole. Everything that they have pretended to be is our identity. Everything. Everything. If you want to deal with the season of when they one of the seasons of life that when I read their history, because there's a lot to be uncovered, but we know that most of what we've learned has been from his stories. So he tells us his story. But I love the what I call the old English age, where the ladies or the European ladies would be in the big dresses and the big hats and the age of the Titanic, if you will. I used to love watching the movie The Titanic because I am so much that type of girl. Like, I like being bougie. I like that kind of world. You know what I'm saying? But I've come to understand that all that they have was not truly their identity. They got their identity from me. They stole my identity. You want to talk about identity theft? They got these commercials out, and that's the whole thing. Everything goes to the full circle. I'll be watching these commercials about, somebody goes, steal your identity, and now they got these commercials about You need to buy into some software because they stealing the deeds to people's homes now. And I just be thinking to myself, ain't nothing new under the sun. Hell, these motherfuckers have stole the land. They stole our identity. What's new? What's new? Ain't nothing new.
They stealing deeds too. So it's so you just trying to let me know that that's what they doing because I already do this. They've been doing this for for the sake of breathing since we've been breathing. They've been doing this. I don't really.
Okay.
Who is it new to? Not us. Not us. I promise you. It's like, come on,
Right. So yeah, so my thing is recognizing that I am the elephant in the room. The string behind that string is a huge elephant, right? That everybody pretends not to see. Yeah. But the reality is that I am the one who is that's coming to be. I am the one who is the true identity behind that string. Like the greatness is me. What you say? What you say?
unmistakably, unmistakably, uncheckably,
Okay.
uncheckably. Yes, that's a word. That's a word,
Come
everybody.
on.
Uncheckably.
And if it's not, we're gonna make it a word today.
It is
Okay.
today, and it will be tomorrow.
Okay. So that's what I am truly embracing and loving, um, because that's what I see. I see the truth of our identity that shows up in every way with the bucket, the string, and the tie. And just basically, the tie is always the cutting away. We just cutting away from what they wanted us to pretend to be, the identity that they tried to give to me, right? And so I have been just taking it loose and cutting myself free,
Mm.
and that to me is what spirit is trying to help us to be, is to truly discover our greater abilities. Our greater abilities are behind the string, are inside of the bucket, and then how we use the bucket. You know, um, so that's what I love so much about that piece, because it's really the depth is hidden in the simplicity. The depth is hidden in the simplicity, and that's to me where the greatest wisdom tends to be. It's not complex. It's in the simplicity.
Mm. Mhm.
And that's what I love about the depth of that piece. And I would say that string is probably coiled, because the more coiled the string is, the more energy.
Ah, shit. Ma'am, oh ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, oh ma'am. Mm.
Yes. So
Mm.
we're recognizing who we have, what day we have stepped into, what we have come to be. My daughter was saying to me the other day that people have been saying since she was a little girl, and I could attest to it too. From the time I've been growing up, a lot of the religious folks are saying, we in the end times, we in the end times. And my daughter's like, man, they've been saying that forever. We in the end times. I ain't nobody trying to hear that. We in the end times. And I thought to myself, it's true, because religions do what they do. But the reality is that cycles are true. And that's one of the things that I had to just recently reference in it's in page 23 of Mama Zogbe's book, the Sibyls, the prophetesses of Mamie Watson. I was just reading on page 23. All right, sis, go ahead and pull it up, pull it up.
I'm like, hold on, I need to make notes now. You done gave me the page number and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
If you could read that, it's the middle paragraph on 23 where she starts to talk about cycles.
Okay. During ancient times, leaders customarily applied allegory and poetic rhyme to conceal as well as to commit to hard esoteric truths that were not meant for the masses.
Pause for 1 second. I hate to sound like the preacher, but you're reading my Bible right now. Uh, but she just said that they would use what? Poetic rhyme. Isn't that what your piece is that we just got through delving into? Okay.
Mm, mm, as
Okay.
well as commit to hard
So go on
esoteric
with your
truths that were
ancient
not
self.
meant.
Go on with your ancient self. But go ahead, continue.
What is? What? What? The priesthood of the Sibyls were even more conspicuous. They were part of the divine cycle of procreation, preservation, death and renewal, which is rebirth, which was believed to take place every 600 or 6,000 years. The above allegory story of their arrival upon an Argos, an ark with Noah and his three sons after surviving the great flood, which is the destruction, is simply representative of this divine cycle.
Okay, of the divine cycle. At higher up on that page, she actually talks about how that Noah was basically replacing the Sibyls, who were the actual ones who were with him um, during that divine cycle of ending one world and going into another. But these cycles are natural to the plane of existence. So that I was telling my daughter that, yeah, while folks have a sense of end times, it's really the end of a cycle, right? And sometimes cycles can linger a little longer than maybe they should have. But I was writing to some of our fellow mystics yesterday in the mystery school how that even Master Fard Muhammad referred to a 600 to 6,000 year cycle that he felt that was the white man's rule. He felt his cycle was over in 1913, 1915, in that realm. Now, why this extra amount of time? Who can say? But we have noted a decline. And one thing I see for sure in my time, in this day and time, is there is so much that has been revealed that the complete legitimacy is gone. There is no more. So you can actually say to yourself that I totally believe that I am seeing the last precipice of his decline, because there is no legitimacy left in his reign. Like, it's not like what we saw back in the 60s, back in 1960s, 19, where you still had people kind of believing a little bit in his lies. I'm gonna tell you as a seer, and I've always been a seer, and that's why I recognize that Goddess Vicky Diller is the real deal, and why I was so drawn to her. And I didn't know that she and I you probably count on two or three fingers, who during the time when Barack Obama was new on the scene, who amongst black people saw what the government was really doing or attempting to do. Vicky Diller and I didn't even know each other, but I saw, being a seer, I saw that they wanted to use him. At that time, I want to say it was one of the Bushes, I believe it was George Bush, who had been the president at that time. And what we saw with him was such a low IQ level, if I could just be plain and honest about it. His IQ level and his ability to even use the English language was so laughable that America was seen as a joke. And what Barack Obama brought back to the reason he was chosen was to try to give a moral face to white supremacy, to once again try to put the planet to sleep and give them hope in America, America, KKKA. When I say America in this sense, I'm not speaking of her as the land of the free that we will one day make her be. I'm speaking of her as the lying tongue of the white supremacist who has lulled the world to sleep using a face of justice. So they chose Barack Obama because it was like their last attempt to use the power of a melanated being to hide their wicked and vile reign of shame on the planet. And I knew it without knowing anything about some damn Epstein files, without knowing anything about anything. I have been a seer. And I said they're using this damn man, and he's allowing himself to be used to once again lull the world back to sleep. And I didn't recognize as deeply that he knew he was being used. I had more faith in them as black people than they even probably should have had credit of having. But the reality for me is that I saw the scheme. Being a seer, I knew what the scheme was, and I could not, in my own righteous self, vote for him, even though he became president. Because black folks, everybody, they got
Voted for him
away.
because it was black. Voted for him because it was black.
You know what I'm saying?
Doesn't just
They got away of playing their game. That's why I say I ain't mad at them for how well they played their hand. The devil played his damn hand. For real, for real. I give credit where credit is due. Okay?
that was definitely a good play.
Come on now. But I also recognize when your game is through. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm seeing the glitches. It's almost so pitiful to me. If I could just take a moment and look at and talk about what I see. It's such a sad travesty watching the devil's world fall. And I don't feel bad about it, but it's just so embarrassing. Not to me, but looking at him, I'm like, aren't you a little bit embarrassed? Like, and it's just, let me just describe what I see. Girl, can I just describe what I see? So I watched as, and I've always been a seer, so let me just start there. I knew that this president was going to be the legacy or the complete folding legacy of white supremacy. I knew that. And so when there was this one point when he first took presidency where he and his team were walking at some game. They went to some big game. And I'm not into sports, but they had them walking out onto the what do you call it? The field as though they were X-Men. I mean, they walking like they about to handle the world. I remember this. Like I'm looking at it, and President Trump and all his men, you know. And now when you look back at it and you see this man who gets on X every day after getting his ass whooped in some kind of way, screaming and talking about trying to destroy nations and talking crazy and in this illegal war, and the whole world looking at him like, man, is you out your mind? And his whole team basically got fired, and the rest of the team has basically conspired against him, and he done got on X and dogged out the rest of them, and it's in a whole, it's like it's in a whole disarray, like just stuff blowing up every day. And I'm looking like, damn, man.
seeing seeing destruction firsthand. It's when you just seeing it fall apart. All the thing you can do is just sit back and just watch it. Watch watch the shit show
It's
and
a
enjoy it with your popcorn.
oh,
Okay,
girl.
because
It's
it will fall apart on its own because nothing is new under the sun. So what has been prophesied, you cannot change.
girl.
And so when the prophecy comes, how do people expect that it's going to happen? You think that you're going to open your eyes and it's going to be like, oh, the prophecy happened. No, you're going to see it happen before your eyes.
Girl.
Before your eyes.
Girl. Girl. And my soul is so at peace about it. Like I am I realize that there is a degree of uncomfortableness that all of us will have to kind of deal with because of the topsy turviness of it all. But I was born for this. That's how I
Okay.
feel. Like I'm born for this.
That's all I'm
Bring
saying.
the floods. I'm like, I'm just like the scripture of that 6,000 year cycle where you talk about the flood. I knew the flood was coming. I'm like, bring the flood, baby.
Come on. Come on.
Wash the shit away.
Come on. Too many people got so comfortable being comfortable. They didn't realize that they done got so comfortable they done got tucked in the bed with the bed bugs
Come
and
on.
sent right out to the ocean with the sharks.
Come
So I'm just
on.
saying, the water dried up now. Where your
Okay.
ass at in the middle of the ocean? You know why? Yep, because your ass just forgot. Them bed bugs eat you too. They gonna eat your ass right on up. You gonna wish them sharks came and got you. The bed bugs give you all kind of, and we try to tell you. We try to tell you, better wash them sheets. You better wash them sheets. Wash your ass too while you at it. But no, you just want to get in that nasty little dirty bed and
Okay.
just act like everything's all copacetic while we sitting over here washing our behind, telling you it's not always gonna be like this, and we gonna stay ready. So when the time come, we don't have to get
Get
ready.
ready.
So now that the time has come,
Okay.
and we over here ready
Okay.
because we told you the time was gonna come.
Come on.
You ass out here in the middle of the ocean in a dirty bed, getting eaten up by the bed bugs, wishing it was the shark.
Come on.
While you were out there in the water, now ain't no water. Now
Come
the bed
on.
bugs just got you. You gone. You gone. Dirty nasty.
Come on. Come on. And I'ma say this piece. from the greatest to the least. We need to call for public hearings. There needs to not be one more vote for none of these jokes that's been up here in the Epstein files, eating babies, having sex with children. I don't listen, you damn sleep devils. Can I just say it like I want to say it? I need everybody to recognize that Scamala, the Democrats, the Republicans, or whatever the hell y'all want to call, all of them are guilty. Okay? And until we recognize that everybody has to be washed, everybody got to get washed. What do I mean by wash? We need public hearings to pour out all the laundry, because there's some laundering going on. And I need to know where all the dirty shit is, been hiding. And I don't want no more of your nastiness. I personally don't want no more. I don't want the left cheek or the right cheek of this stanky beast. I don't. I want you done with. So we're going to have to do a complete lobotomy, okay, before we go any further with this. And that's where I'm at with it. I cannot believe the degree of deception that I see when people sit around trying to tell me we just need to get more, we need to choose the Democrats. They're going to do right by me. Nigga, is you out your mind? Yes, you are. And a lot of y'all going to end up going the way of the devil in his world. It is a lot of folk that's going to be washed away with the floods. I recognize that. But I want to make it known from my standpoint as a seer, from my point of view, that everything needs to come to a standstill. We need public hearings for those who have been eating people. And I know that if we did that, it would take us to the true reparations, because the root we have to go down to the root. The root is the reason that Epstein and all them was doing what they was doing on those islands, is because it never got dealt with, that they was eating us, that they was eating black people, that we were the first delicacy, okay, and have not stopped being their delicacy. Why we got so many black women missing, so many black children missing? We got to get to the root of this. And I know that public hearings will bring that forth. We will shut everything down and bring it all to the ground, because that's where it's going to have to go.
Indeed. Shay.
So that's where it's at today. And I'm going to say this. I saw myself in my imagination. I was dealing with a delegation. I had a whole delegation. And it was all these black, wealthy heads of state in my imagination. It was all these black, wealthy heads of state in my imagination. And I had my own delegation, right? And we were all meeting to talk about our different nations. I kid you not, this was in my imagination. And I had one question, and my sister coming on later, because we got a sister who's going to do a podcast. She's a Moor. And I want to put this on the floor, because when she does hear the podcast, she probably won't hear this one today. But I have a question for my brothers and sisters. That delegation's Moors. Because I know historically It is you all that raised the devils from running on all fours. It was the Moors. From what I understand, well, I mean, it's a lot of lies to his history, but the Moors, from what I understand, helped the devil get off all fours. That's what I was told. And but one of the last speeches I heard from one of the devils, they told us that it was a white woman that got them out them caves, right? They said it was a white woman, even though she was in the caves with him, he was trying to get her the credit for getting them out them caves and off of all fours. But here's my question to the Moors, as a delegation. I want to know, when y'all got them off of all fours, did y'all know what we was in for? Did y'all know what we was in for when y'all got them off of all fours? Because I feel like y'all was doing too much. Y'all talk about being more, and more is more. I do know more is more, right? But was y'all doing too much when y'all opened up that door? I want y'all to reflect on that. That's just for the delegation of the board. Because you got these people up off all fours, but they still think like they on all fours. Many of them. Okay, they still, I'm going to say like my uncle. When my uncle get upset, let me say this about my uncle. My family, my relatives are something else. So, I got an uncle, he say, my mama used to tell me, you can't change a hoe. You bring a hoe in the door, you think you gonna make her to a wife, but at the end of the day, she's still gonna be a hoe. That's what my uncle. He said you can't change a hoe, right? And he would say that when he would get mad about something, because he tended to be attracted to a certain type, and I'd be like, "What did you drag in last night?" You know what I'm saying? But then he'd get mad because he don't listen to his own wisdom that his mama gave him. You know what I'm saying? He don't listen. He gonna do just the opposite. Then he won't quote what his mama taught him, right? I feel the same way about, the Moors getting these folks off of all fours. You know what I'm saying? You got them off. You got them off the flow, and you brought them in the dough, but I don't know. I don't know what we been all this pain we done seen across the planet, all this theft, all this stealing, all this killing. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about that as a delegation. What it is say. And I do know, in every situation you get cycles. But I do know that we have predictions, and we have said it as oracles from the ancients, that this particular cycle we don't want to see no more. We say we want to usher in a better world, a world of justice, and we don't want that back anymore. So, in order not to get it back anymore, delegations, we're going to have to close that door, but we're going to have to figure out why you got them off of the floor in the first place. Because, see, the way to keep from making the same mistakes is to analyze why you made it. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to have that conversation one of these days. I saw that in my imagination. I said, I got to have a talk with that delegation. And they can just give me their greatest mind, I don't need to talk to everybody because everybody got different thoughts. Y'all talk about it amongst yourselves. Bring forth the greatest mind and let us discuss this over some wine. You know what I'm saying? We need to understand why you lifted up that particular man. Okay? Maybe it was in the divine plan. I'm still learning, but when I think about what girl. All right, my phone say I'm done. Woo, Lord.
All right, family. You heard that queen. I was gonna keep it short and sweet today. The queen done spoke. The queen has spoken. God damn it. I said the queen has spoken.
Ooh, hallelujah. Okay.
The queen has spoken.
Yes.
Queen has spoken. She has also got a. She also has a job that wants her presence there today. So she's gonna go grace some people with her presence
I
and
say.
brighten the building's day.
I
Okay,
say.
make it give some old people another graceful day on this earth that they have been gifted.
As those trees that hold everything in place. Right?
Just saying, just saying. They need their foundation to come in today. They need their foundation coming on in today, and I done got her fired up. I love it. I love it when I sit and talk like this, y'all. I ain't even gonna flex. That's a little selfish. I love sitting there going to work like, come on, girl. I'm like, come on, sis. We did all that today. We
Woo-wee.
did all that, girl, today. All that extra. All that,
Okay.
yes. We did all that extra because we that.
Yes.
We that. We so extra. Everybody won't be us. So,
Okay. There it is. There it is.
so family, I love you.
Yes.
This man, I told you we gonna do this again because there's some things we're gonna touch on, and some things we gonna touch on
Okay.
because some of the things that she said towards the middle and the end were some things I already wanted to touch on. That's why I was like, I'm gonna keep quiet because then we gonna be here for hours on end. We gonna talk about that later. We gonna we gonna talk. We gonna Spirit told me when I got on here this was gonna be more than one, and you already thank you for confirming how we gonna
Awesome.
we gonna
Awesome.
family. We gonna see you again,
Okay. I say.
baby.
I say.
Onion layers. I love it. All
Yes.
right, family. I love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Ooh.